Hello, Monarchs. This is Mr. Gold with this week's The Flight of the Monarchs, where we take a look at what happened last week and what's coming up this week. Just like always, make sure you're following us on Facebook, Instagram, like and subscribe to our YouTube page, see us on Class Dojo. And again, you can see everything that your children, all their grades, all their attendance on PowerSchool. The link to PowerSchool is in the comments, and you can use the code TMPG to get started. So, for some of the resources that we have, like always, we have tutor.com, which is available 24/7. And we also have Sora, which is our digital library. They have your children, sorry, have access to two complete libraries. Our upcoming events. This week, we are doing our state testing for math. So make sure that if you have a child in grades 3 through 6, that they're here on time, ready to go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. You were able to provide some letters of inspiration to either your child or to another child. If you have not had a chance to do that, you can come see us for another note card and some examples of Miss Kang's that she had, some inspirational letters. So thank you for Miss King for displaying those for all her students to see. And here's our weekly recap, all the great things that happened last week at our school. To start us off, we start off with our preschool. So there had some discovery time where the children get to play with trains, they get to play with Legos, blocks, they get to put together puzzles, very cool activities. And they also did some arts and crafts. They got to put together some frogs, and the tongue stuck out, and they bounced around on their lily pads. They also got to get to go outside. They were discovering what water does, how it moves things around. And they also have a garden. So if you haven't had a chance to come see that, you may want to see if you can see that garden. It's really cool looking there. They got some plants growing. Miss Ostrowski students, they were outside taking advantage of the nice weather that we had, and they were putting numbers in order from greatest to least to greatest, so smallest to biggest. But the numbers had decimals, fractions, so it was a really cool activity for them. In first grade, Miss Ramirez's class, they were doing some writing. They were creating sentences and expanding on those sentences. And in first grade, in Miss Gonzales's class, they had created paper airplanes and they were testing their designs. They were waiting for the gust of wind to come and seeing which direction the gust of wind would help theirs go further. So some science and discovery going on there. In Miss Moreno's TK and kindergarten combo class, it was really nice going in there and seeing small groups going. So the students were able to get more individualized attention. So they were in smaller groups. So the paras that are in the classroom and the teacher were running simultaneously small groups at the same time. And Miss Romero was doing the same thing too. She had two paras that were in there and they were working with students. And then Miss Romero herself was running that small group. So it's a great way for us to meet the needs of all of our students. In Mrs. Simon's kindergarten class, they were working on the letter Q and they were drawing some neat little pictures that were things that started with the letter Q. In Miss Perry's class, they were doing some readers theater. I was even able to be a part of it. And this is a nice way for the students to get to practice reading out loud. And in sixth grade, Miss James's class, the students were working together on a math pretest. Working together is a great way for them to not only learn from the teacher and learn from themselves, but learn from their other classmates. You can always learn so much more when you're explaining how to do something, and it's a great practice working together before. So to close us off, this is our launch for our week ahead. The secret of getting ahead is getting started, and that comes from us from Mark Twain. So make sure that you get lots of sleep, and we'll see everyone bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock when the gates open. Thanks, and have a great rest of your weekend.